10. This is experiment 7. We'll be making the thermochromic compounds. These are copper compounds. And so we're going to start with the first compound, which is the N-diethylethylenediamine copper complex. So I've got here just a 150 milliliter beaker, which I've added a stir bar to. And I've got some absolute ethanol measured out, as well as, if I come over here, the copper nitrate trihydrate that we need, 1.2 grams. So I'll just take that off the balance here. We'll put it in our beaker and get that dissolving in the ethanol. Okay, looks like we're doing pretty good there. Oh, that stir bar not to knock our beaker over. There we go. Now it looks like it's dissolving pretty well. So the next thing we need to do is make a, we need to measure out how much of this N-diethylethylenediamine that we need. So that's here in this bottle. And this is a liquid, but we need to measure it out by mass. So we're just going to tear this vial and pipette it into the vial in order to weigh it. So we'll start by tearing the vial on the balance. Alright, that's teared now. And then we need 1.15 grams of this. This has got tape on it. Just shy of a gram there. And there we are. That vial there will go into waste. Make sure that this is capped nicely. Then we'll take our vial of diethylenediamine. We'll add to that 10 milliliters of ethanol. And then we'll go back and pipette this into the copper nitrate solution once it's all dissolved. So, our copper nitrate is now dissolved in the ethanol. And we're ready to add our ethanol solution of the diethylenediamine. So we're going to do that dropwise. So just take our pipette here, add this dropwise while it stirs. It's like a violet swirl, dark blue swirl that appears when every drop hits the solution. It's quite nice looking. I don't know if that's going to come through on camera, but you'll see it in person for sure. Very nice color change. We have a lot of solution left to add, so keep going. The solution is very dark violet now. And this will be our last portion. And there we are. Now let that stir for another 5 minutes, and then it will stand for 10 minutes, and then we'll be back. So we're back now with our first compound, the blue copper nitrate with the N-diethylethylenediamine, and this has settled out pretty nicely. So what we need to do now is filter this. So I've got here a sidearm flask, which I'm going to put in this clamp here. It's always a good idea to clamp your flasks when doing vacuum filtration. And I've got here a hose attached to the vacuum port on for my hood. And we'll push that onto the sidearm. And we'll take our fritted funnel, and one of these rubber gasket things, put that onto the filter flask. Anyway, now we can turn on our vacuum, and you'll see that pulls the funnel pretty good. So take our blue solution here and swirl it up to suspend our red powder. We'll pour it into the funnel here. Nice. And you see the red powder there collecting in the funnel? That's our compound. So we will pour that off there. And then let me get a pair of tweezers and we'll extract that stir bar as well. We've got a pair of tweezers. Remove the stir bar. Just put that down there. And then we can wash the compound, and I'm actually going to wash out the beaker a little bit too with 10 mils of the ether, so we'll divide that into 2 portions of 5 milliliters. Let a good swirl. So we're going to wash some compound out of our beaker. And so we can wash our compound here in the funnel. Alright, now we will let that dry on the funnel for about 30 minutes. One thing we can do first is briefly remove the funnel. Pour off this solution. Back. It's always better if you're going to pull for a long period of time on a funnel on a vacuum flask like this, that you remove whatever solution was collected in your flask first. So we'll let that sit there and dry under vacuum for a few minutes, and then we'll get back to the next steps. So here we are after a little while. Our compound is dried out. See that it's dried out, so we're gonna turn off the vacuum. Just take it out of the funnel here. And we will put it in this wave out here. And carefully scrape it out of our funnel here. Here we've got a pretty good amount of this compound here. Some of it does actually already appear violet, but we can do the thermochromic portion here shortly, and we'll see the color change from this dark red color to the violet color. All right, so now we're going to see the color change part with this red compound here. So if I just hold it, I've got my hot plate turned on, not about that much. You want it pretty hot. This does take a bit of heat, but it's also really easy to overshoot and burn the compound. If you compose it, it'll turn brown when you do that. Just kind of roll some of this around, get a little bit more of a thin layer there. And you'll be able to see the compound darken before it turns the violet color. You can see some spots of it starting to darken. Just set that on there. Turn our heat up just a bit more. Quick off the heat too, in order to keep it the nice violet color. Oh, here we go. Something right there was beginning to turn. Bottom, we can see that it's kind of violet color, so we just got to get that kind of through the rest of it. See that quite a bit of that has gone to the violet color, and if we waited more, we should be able to get all of it to convert. Ah, yeah, there we go. Clearly see that difference, the two colors. Yeah, we've got it. Violet. So I'm just going to set this, so put it out here on the bench and let it cool. Oh yeah, this is very clearly a different color. Anyway, and then we'll move on with the other compound. So while the other solution is stirring, and it will stand as well, we can make the other copper complex, the other thermochromic compound. So I've got here in this weigh boat 2.2 grams of diethylamine hydrochloride, or diethylammonium chloride. There's two A's that can be said. Anyway, and then that we'll add here to this beaker, this small beaker here. And then to that, we will add 15 milliliters of isopropanol. And we'll take that over here. On this hot plate, and we'll go with the other solution. So for the other solution, we need 1.3 grams of copper chloride, and this is the hydrate, trihydrate. So I've got that 1.3 grams here on this weigh boat. Take it over to our beaker over here on this hot plate, and dump that in there. Add to that about 3 milliliters of absolute ethanol. And then we'll heat this gently until this dissolves. And then we'll be back for the next part. Okay, so with some gentle heating, I've got both solutions dissolved. So the diethylammonium chloride is in here and the copper chloride is in here. Go ahead and turn our heat off. And we'll add this one over here to the copper. Okay. Just like that. If we needed to rinse that with some isopropanol, we could, but I think it'll be okay. So, give that a bit of a swirl here, get it to mix up. And we'll set that here to cool to room temperature. And then once it's gone to room temperature, we'll put it in the ice bath. And look for the precipitation of our compound. Alright. So our solution here cooled to room temperature just here on this jack stand, and then I put it in the ice bath to cool, and it's been in there for probably about 10 minutes, and I'm not seeing any crystals growing just yet. So what I can do to help that is add a little bit more isopropanol, maybe 3 or 4 mils, and a little bit of a swirl here, and then we'll put it back in the ice bath, and we'll come and check that in a little while again. So it's been another 5 minutes since we've added that isopropanol, and we can see that we've got a pretty drastic change here in our solution. We've got a load of this really bright neon green powder that's precipitated out. So at this point I think we can go ahead and filter off our compound, and then we'll have it for the next step. So to do that filtration, just move this extra isopropanol out of the way. I've got a funnel and filter flask set up already. Just turn on our vacuum. Do our flask here, a bit of a swirl. Make sure that we're pour this off of the filter here. Let's give it a bit more vacuum. vacuum. Oh, it's actually quite caked on the bottom there, so let me scrape at it a little bit. Oh yeah, we got a substantial amount down there. More in there still. Let's see what we can do about getting that out of there. Extra little tiny bit of this isopropanol here. Use that to kind of rinse out our flask here. I'm just going to turn the vacuum off just briefly. And we can actually use that little bit of isopropanol to wash our compound. Nice green paste there. So we can dry this on the vacuum for a little while, and then after that we'll get it into a vial, and you want to dry it in a desiccator. Pull that. Bring this all up closer. Just to show what we've got. So you can see we've got a bunch of green powder here. And then we can move on to doing the thermochromic experiment. So for the diethylamine copper complex, we should end up with some of these nice green crystals. Anyway, and I can show you after you let them dry in the desiccator, we can do the thermochromic test, or see the thermochromism by heating it in water heated to 60 degrees. So I've got this little water bath set up. I'm going to clamp up this vial here, and then once it's reached temperature, I'll bring it in and you can see that it changes from green to yellow. Back when we reached temperature. So, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it or not, but our compound, I'll actually just turn this heating and stirring off and retrieve the vial. Our compound has turned yellow. So those crystals that were once green are now yellow. And if we put them ice bath, they will revert back to green pretty quickly, actually. Yeah, I can see already. nearly there. There's one piece that's not quite completely going back to green, but pretty close. There we go. So you can see the compound has completely returned to green, just like how it was when we started.